Mrs. Maxwell, one of the assistant principals at Bridgewater Raynham Regional High School. I'm here with another tip today. How to keep track of your assignments. We have wonderful agenda books that are on sale and they cost $5. If you don't want an agenda book, there are other ways that you can track your class assignments. What I've done here is I've created some worksheets, and there are different types of worksheets. For instance, this here is a substitute for your agenda. If you don't want the student agenda book, you can access these items on the website under the Homework Zone link. And as you can see, there's different kinds. This here is a one-sided worksheet, and what you do is the student writes their name at the top, and it's the week of. So for this week, it would be the week of September 2nd through the 5th. You can modify this information. This is a form I use for my Homework Zone students, but it's a great little tool that you can adapt and really customize for your needs. Students would then write down for math any major assignments that they have due. Sometimes you may want the teacher to comment. Again, the student may in this area instead write down specifics about that assignment. That's one strategy. This one I particularly like because it's a two-sided one and it breaks it down by subject. You have your class and then you have the day. So if the day is Monday and you have history, when you go to history class, you write down your homework assignment here. And that way you know what you have to do for homework that night. Again, this is a form I use for my Homework Zone students. The student may or may not want to utilize these components. If a student is making academic success, they may not need the teacher accountability, but for mom and dad and for the student, this is a great way for mom and dad and student to keep in check as far as what homework was done and when. So this is a system you could implement. When the student completes the homework, they sign here. After the parent has checked it, they sign here. And then the next class, English. Again, Monday night's homework. If they have a substitute and there's no homework, they can write sub. If math class does not meet that day, they can just exit out. And so it's a one-sheet agenda book for the whole week. And then what they can do is they can keep this in their handy-dandy one binder in the front window or in the back where there's an extra sleeve to store things. My third strategy here is how to budget your time. You have all these subjects. You have so many balls in the air. How do you juggle them? How do you know when to carve out enough time for math or study for that English quiz? So what I've come up with is a blank form that's a weekly calendar. And you'll notice that the first box is devoted for study. If you have a study during your schedule time, you might want to pencil in what you're going to do in study hall on this particular Monday. After school, what you could do is write down what maybe you're going to do before dinner and after dinner, and then after 7 p.m. Our lives are super filled. We're all very busy. This is what an example looks like filled in. You'll notice on Monday during study, I'm going to do my math homework. If I have math tutoring in the math lab and it falls on a Monday, then I would go to math lab, but I don't. After school, I'm going to check in with Mrs. Maxwell. Some students like to come down to the main office after school and do homework. And then when I get home, I'm going to designate my math homework slot between 3 and 4 p.m. It might not take me the whole time, but that's when I'm going to schedule it. Science is between 4 and 5, ELA between 5 and 6, and then between 6 and 7 is my dinner hour. You may or may not eat dinner between 6 and 7. You can obviously adjust this accordingly, but allow yourself a good hour off. And then from 7 to 8, I'm going to work on history, and from 8 to 8:30, I'm going to designate to Spanish. So by 8:30, I should be all done with my homework so that I can start to wind down and get to bed at a decent time. I do want to point out the weekend. Give yourself permission for time to go to sports, work, maybe you have CCD. So that's why you see these no signs. On Saturday this week, I'm not doing any homework. But on Sunday, I'm just taking the morning off. I've got to work on a project with a friend. Again, these items can be found on the Homework Zone link. I hope they're useful and that you make use of them. Stay organized and good luck this year.